Okay, so this is a spur of the moment. I have very little time, but I have an experiment I've been wanting to do, and I was gonna do it here. I have to actually. I have very very little time. I gotta move my daughter to college, so we gotta start doing that tonight. She's gotta be there tomorrow. So I want to make a rigging wrench. So a rigging wrench is a pulley that works off that also has a like a rope wrench, the wrench attached to the pulley, which will slow the piece down. So I want to try to make one, and I'll show you the parts that we're going to use. So what I have, you guys a little bit. What I have a CMI double sheave pulley. Um, it's for a 5-to-1 setup that I have, but we're going to use this pulley. And I had a bunch of different wrench setups, and I was going to make one, and I probably will make one specific for this. That way I'm not using a climbing one in this, you know. So these are aluminum tethers that are made by Greg Brown, and by far is my favorite tether to use when it comes to a wrench. But we're going to make it a rigging wrench. So what it's going to do is it's going to allow us to, I should be able to let that piece slowly go down. That's probably, let's see, maybe 80, 100 pounds. Um, so we'll pull it up, and we'll do a test with it with just the pulley. And we'll pull the pulley back down, and we'll try it again and see, like, I mean, you know how fast it's going to fall, period, with the pulley. It's going to fall a little extra fast. But this, is that Billy? What's going on, my guy? This should make it so what happens is, so what we're going to do, I'm just going to, we'll go this way. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to attach this to it. And then what's going to happen is as it's rigging, this is going to engage, and it will slow the piece down, and will do all the work that a bollard or friction would do. It's going to cause a bunch of friction here to slow the piece down so that a guy can rig on his own and rig bigger pieces. Crystal Norwegian Forest Cat, what's going on? How are you? So we're going to make a rigging wrench. Let's do this. So what I did is I set a rope here. It's up in this tulip poplar above you guys. So first I'm just going to put an attachment point on this for the rigging setup. Normally what you would do is you would go up, you would go up in the tree and go take a sling and set the pulley wherever you want it. But we're going to make it stationary and retrievable and set it here and then lift it up into the tree, and then we'll do the work. We'll probably have to change the angle so you guys can see it and stuff. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, attach it with a shackle, and I'm actually going to spin this around. No, we'll leave it like that. So this knot lights down on there now. So now we have the rigging set up. Let's go ahead and just build the rigging wrench right now, and then I'll show you it like real quick how it works. All right. I'm going to use a quickie pin to keep everything aligned. So the way this works, oh, thank you for the like. So we're going to take, like I was saying, attach this to this. What I would prefer to have is a single pulley with a becket on the bottom. That's as crazy as that's my last name anyway. So I need one on just a single one with this on the bottom, but I don't have that. So what we'll do is we'll use this double one, but we'll only be using the one side. I have to leave, sorry. Hey, thanks for stopping by though. Victoria, what's going on? Okay, Billy, let's do this. So this wrench setup is kind of, I believe, set up for maybe a hitch climber. I have a couple different ones. So this one's the hitch climber. See, it'll plug up like that. And we'll go around. What's nice is it's just the width of the last pin on this quickie. So now we've got it set up. And the way it's designed is the rope should run up through here, and then the exiting rope is what hits the wrench and will engage the wrench when the weight drops into it. So you should be able to pull everything up with ease, but anything going down should be difficult. So let's see if that's the case. We should know if it works basically right there from almost the get-go. If that doesn't work, then it really doesn't work. So let me go ahead and pull this up into, yeah, let's pull it up a ways and I'll anchor it off and we'll do a test. Let's take it up like 8 feet or so. I should probably set the, let me set the rigging line real quick and then we'll anchor everything up in the air. So remember what I said, the rope needs to go through and then to the wrench. So we'll just run it backwards because it's not a very long rope, it's actually a short rope. So here I know that I've got a good setup already because I'm able to pull the rope up with ease. It's not doing anything. Let me get to the sewn eye here. So, but now what I want to happen is when I pull, yeah, see, it engages the wrench right there. Okay, as you're pulling rope up, it collapses, and then as you drop weight into it, the wrench engages, causes a bend in the rope. But you have to remember this is going to be putting a lot of friction and stress on the wrench that it normally wouldn't have. So in theory, you would probably want to design a stronger wrench to do this, but for smaller stuff, let's see if it'll work. I would like to be able to rig like up to about 100 pounds, maybe a couple hundred, and it not be too difficult. So, pull that up. I need to pull more rope out. Okay, so now we're up in the air there. We're set, I don't know, 12 feet or so. It's up there a ways. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to anchor this to the tree. So the actual pulley system is, the whole rigging setup is on this rope. So it anchors to the tree and will hold the pulley up there. Let's see, about where I would need it. Let's grab another carabiner to lock this off. Ow. Okay. After I bash my shins against the ladder, I got it set up there. So, kind of grab this, pull down on it, kind of full test the rigging. Okay. So it's in there good. Now, it should be very difficult for me to just pull this single rope. Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. So, let's test this thing. Ooh, hooking on. That's probably only 80 pounds. But, sorry you guys weren't able to see that. What's going on, Olivia? Alright, so I should be able to pretty much put it up with relative ease. And then, I need to set you guys so you can see it when it happens. Let me disconnect the charger and everything. Sorry. Alright. Spin you guys around like this. That's better. So the rigging wrench setup is right there. We'll see. We'll see how it works. Like I said, I should be able to pull it up with relative ease, and then I should basically be able to let go, and it should just creep down on its own. If it works the way that it was supposed to. Okay. And I'm gonna let go of it. Let's see. It's not enough weight. It's too freaking. That's why I brought my ladder. Let's see. Okay, it's that initial first part. It has like a little bit of trouble, but it would be perfect. Yeah, it would be. It needs a little more weight. Huh? Do I have something a little heavier? Oh, okay. This may be. Let's use this stump. Yeah, it's heavier than that. Let's move this out of the way. Move to something a little heavier. Which means I gotta have a bigger strap. Okay. So I'm just strapping the log up. Yeah, that's heavier. I would say this is probably 150, maybe 200. Nah, probably 150. Let's see if it goes up. Ladder. That's about 150 in the air. Let's see what it does when I let go. Okay, yeah, it's an initial lockup. That works. Here, let me show you again. That's awesome. That works perfect. So again, hoisting this thing up is a little rough. And that's with the mechanical advantage of the pulley. Alright, so I could really nudge into it violently and it still goes slow. So if you were up there by yourself, you could cut a top. It would coast it all the way to the ground. You wouldn't even have to physically be touching the rope, but you would need to dial the system in. Hang on, I'll get your comment. You would really need to sort of dial this system in beforehand to know the weight amounts and like what will actually get it to run and what won't. Because the issue is when that's engaged, you then are kind of stuck. So I noticed that the ones that are manufactured, um, Peter Shea, what's going on? Jay, what's up, brother? Top stuff, what's going on? Toronto, right on. Well, welcome. Um, yeah, so this setup works really good, but the problem is, let me pull the system down and I'll show you guys. Should we show it one more time up close? Let's see. I wish I could get a close-up of the actual system up there. If I can find a spot in the tree where there's some light, where you could see it. You just can't. Yeah, there it is. Okay, let's try this. So there is the device there. It's kind of dark outside. It just got finished raining, so yeah, it's not the best weather to be doing this. What's with this Toronto? Negative drop test. Yeah, let's do it. Well, I don't want to do anything like that. That's the thing I'm saying. After it goes up, watch. I can actually, it's kind of tough to pull this up here, especially after doing it 3 or 4 times. I think I can rest it into place. Watch this. It's got a bad spot right there before the sewn eye that you've seen. But if I set it there and let it in, like lock itself softly, it stays. I have to lift and kind of drop it into the wrench a little bit to get it to go. And if I just had it barely in one hand, I could stop it if I needed to. Like right now, it's I could stop it at any point with just a couple fingers. So, but and also, the more force is there, the further it gets from that on this rope. So the rope finally smushes. It's pulling harder on it, and it runs a little smoother. I got a nail sticking out of it. I was using it for something. But yeah, let's do it again. Last time, and then I'll pull the system down and we can see it. So let's just do it from there. See, it locks out. If you engage it slowly, so the system almost needs to be in a quick jerk, like a negative rig system, because it'll engage the wrench quicker and let that smush happen and the rope start to pass through. And after it starts, it will build, you know. So we'll give it a little pull up. We'll compress the wrench and then let go of it real quick, and the harder you was to do that or try it, then the quicker it would fall into the system and start to work. So, Dop stuff, what's going on? Is how's the weather in Toronto? I imagine it's got to be better than it is here. We've been dealing with nothing but rain here lately. It's either raining or it's so hot, humid, and disgusting that you don't want to be outside. So, yeah, John, it works best in a negative rigging setup. But I gotta talk to my guy Greg. There's a couple different things that I would like to have a bigger version of a wrench, just the head of a wrench made, a little stronger version. So that's something I would really, because I have a couple different rigging techniques that I think it would work really good for. Um, that it could kind of change a couple things. So let me pull the system down, then we'll check it out up close so you can kind of see what I was talking about. It may make a little bit more of it make sense. Good weather here for now. Oh, right on, Ground Pounder. I didn't even know you were here, man. Well, there's 24 people here. 18. That happened quick. Got 9 thumbs, though. Um, is it rainy, Dop? Ah, that sucks. Yeah, rainy's boring. Well, we actually have, look this way. It's all nice and blue clouds. This way, not so much. This must have been where the rain went. Let me unlock this. Bring the system down. So, like I was saying before, um, that entire rigging system was on, and we did that so we could make the rigging system on the ground, and say you could only climb with spikes and you were going to rig a different tree, but you wanted to rig it out of this one. This rigging setup will allow you to put, it's called remote rigging, and you're just remotely, like from the ground, putting a rigging setup into a tree without actually accessing the tree. You just want to make sure that the way you would retrieve that system is smooth and good too, because after it's up there, then you can't get it back. You got to go get it. Zeno and I slaying. Oh shoot, that was, I thought I seen 2 videos, one from each one of you, and I thought that they looked similar. So I was wondering if he had made it there yet. It was blazing today. Dang, Billy 73, Ground Pounder 77. Dang, it goes so hot here. Today it was over the 80 Celsius. Woo, dang man. Yeah, the hot weather's, it's just rough. You got to figure out, since you're working out in it, you almost have to figure a different way to breathe it. That way you don't get exhausted so quick. So here's our rigging setup, guys. That's what we were using. Homemade rigging wrench. And I got behind. Burgers are excellent. And the brats are about done. It's like, burgers are excellent, and I just lit the fire. uh, yeah, my recommendation would be to try to keep all your pens, because I used a wrench or a quickie, and the wrench has a pin. Try to keep these all the same direction. And I wanted, since this is a double sheave pulley and I was only using this side, I wanted to keep the pin pieces over here. So yeah, I mean, in all actuality, you could double rig off of this thing, and it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense because you'd just randomly be using double the rope for no reason. But yeah, you could. Yeah, that's it. Very simple setup. Um, it pulls up with ease, like no problem. You get the mechanical advantage. It's just anytime weight comes down, it locks the system into, its working position. And you got to remember, this is a climbing line. This isn't a rigging line. It's very stiff, and a bull rope would work a lot better. And another thing, the wrench, I would like for it to be like for a 9/6, like a 5/8, like a that size of a wrench head. So yeah, just things to think about. I've been thinking about this idea. It's probably been about a year, and I haven't did it. I knew I had the pieces that would make it work, but I never really did it. But yeah, there it is. And this setup can be basically just move. You could leave your whole rigging setup like this, and if you're the guy up in the tree, you would have this on a sling, and you would just easily undo this, take the sling off, which in this case I anchored it remotely with this rope. So I just slide the rope back up, and then get my shackle back, drop the pin like I would if I was up in the tree. That's the thing I don't like about shackles, and I kind of dislike it about the quickie links too. That there's the potential of dropping the link while you're up there. I don't like that. So yeah, you could very easily have this on a strap. Let's say this is it. You could just, you wouldn't even need the you wouldn't need this then, but you could easily just hook this to your saddle and move your whole rigging setup to the next spot. Remembering that the end that the wrench is on is the end that's exiting always. And then all you do is just take that setup right there. I would probably try to loosen that or something, and then just hang the off there, and I'd go to my next spot, set it up really quick, really simple, throw it around, hook it up. Now you're totally ready to do rigging again. So as a climber, if you had one of these setups, especially a good compact version, it would be really nice. The thing I want to test and I'll kind of mess around with and play with is the length of the tether, if that matters. This being super long, I would think adds more friction than a short one, but I don't know yet. But I'm gonna mess around with it and see. I may actually just mount the actual wrench head to this and see how that works without a tether. Um, yeah, I have some ideas. So sorry I gotta make this so quick and run off, but my daughter's here. It's like our last day here. I gotta go hang with her and do dinner and all that stuff. But I was doing this. I didn't want to. I figured I'd let you guys hang too. So where could I get that rigging? Ooh, yeah, I guess that's a good spot to start. So you can order. This is a double sheaved pulley. It's maximum workload, I think, is there. 1100 is what it's set for. This is meant to be for a 5-to-1, but I have two of them, and it was a 5-to-1, what you would call fiddle block setup. The rope is just a climbing line. The wrench, now you'd have to buy a tether. Greg Brown is in my comment sections, and if you want to get a hold of Greg, he makes these. I don't know if he's doing that. I know he sells the bollards and stuff. I don't know if he's doing the wrench tethers, but we can, if it's something you really want, you just let me know. We can make it happen somehow. Like I can get you in touch, or we'll figure something out. But that's an aluminum tether, and the wrench head you would buy from any arborist supply store. So maybe check out Gap Arborist Supply. That's GAP Arborist, ARBORISTS. Um, check them out, and maybe they should have most of it. They should have all of it actually. So yeah, Guys, thanks for hanging out. And where do you live? Me? Um, Misery, or sorry, Missouri. All good. Have a good night. Oh, no worries, though. Yeah, but yeah, that's. I would say if you're doing rigging setup, you're going to be using a beaner. Make sure you're good rated steel beaners. Um, all the stuff needs to be super strong. Like this is a climbing device, so I'm not trying to fool anybody. This here is a climbing device. I would climb on this, so it's not meant for rigging. I just wanted to test something and try it out. So that's what this was. A little experiment live. So if it messed up and went horribly wrong, I could be embarrassed. Okay, guys, thanks for hanging out, and a few more of these I may do. We'll see. Stay safe. I'll catch you next time. Enjoy your week.